You are so easy cheap girls that you are dating foreigners. You only date foreigners for their sex abilities, you fucking whore. No Chinese man would ever date you again because you are contaminated by foreigners. Please leave China right now. We are not welcoming you. You heard me right. All these disgusting, insulting words came from some random comments made by some Chinese men on social medias. I promise you, if you are using Chinese TikTok, which got Douyin, or Xiaohongshu, Redbook, you can always see these kind of comments under posts related to international couples and transnational marriages. And their targets are always women. Why do they react in such a radical, furious, illogical way? I don't know, I wonder if it happens in other countries. If so, is it that ridiculous too? Please pause right now and comment if it happens around you. I'm really curious to find out. I certainly feel very agitated and violated when I see those comments on those women. To me, it is more like an insult to women, as women are their possessions, which are untouchable by other races. Doesn't matter the fact that Chinese girls date foreigners or not. I think they will get mad anyway if Chinese women start dating aliens one day. You know what? The thing is, the majority of Chinese people are not religious at all, compared to countries that women have very limited freedom and rights due to religious reasons, extreme poverty, and gender inequality. China is not one of those countries that women would be beaten up if she showed her face in public, or she left the house without telling her male family members, or being killed because she cheated on her husband. So, I don't understand, I don't understand. I found it very shocking and bizarre. This is happening in China. The society that women relatively have much more freedom and rights. I'm trying to understand where it comes from. Here are just some of my thoughts and opinions. First of all, China is extremely selective about immigration. Foreigners living in China only accounts for 0.06% of the whole population. By the way, China has a population of 1.45 billion. When I say foreigners, it means excluding residents from Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. So there are 846,000 foreigners living in China. China is considered to be one of the hardest countries to get a green card or citizenship. Most of these foreigners are living in China's big cities. So for people who live in small cities in China, it is still quite inquisitive for them to see a foreigner in real life. I mean, look at countries like Australia, with a population of nearly 26 million. Living in Australia means your classmates, your colleagues could be Indian, Chinese, Vietnamese, African, Greek, Italian, Turkish, and so on. China has a huge deficiency of diversification regarding ethnic groups. So dating a foreigner is still a thing in China, which causes confusions and curiosity. Secondly, some Chinese men consider themselves are very patriotic, that China is the best, Chinese men are the best. Whoever doesn't choose to date or marry a Chinese man considered a traitor, and a traitor must be punished. But they can't do anything in real life because they don't want to go to jail. So they can only take all the anger out on internet, together with whichever anger they have held back for a long time in real life, to affront those ladies. This type of Chinese men are normally very coward in real life. Thirdly, China has a huge population, 1.45 billion people. Honestly, not everyone gets a chance to receive higher education. Some people can't even complete their primary education for whatever reasons. Even though China made it compulsory to complete primary and middle education in 1986. Not everyone gets a chance to go to big cities to study or work, to know all kinds of Chinese people from different cities and backgrounds. There are 56 Chinese ethnic groups and 31 provinces. Each Chinese ethnic group has their own dialect, traditions, and customs. Each province has its own history, culture, and customs. Not many Chinese get the chance to go overseas to work and study. Not many Chinese are able to access to different perspectives. What's more, the internet is censored over there. Education, life experience, communication with the world all contribute to the degree of how someone process and understand things from different perspectives. Unfortunately, there will always be a group of people who will never get the chance to experience diversification. It is impossible for them to accept differences. For them, they will never ever understand a thing called perspective taking. Fourthly, sometimes people just don't like disparities. This is the only reason I can sort of relate. It is human nature that at the beginning we normally reject new things that different from what we know. New concepts that different from what we have been always believing. I mean, no one would believe the earth is round hundreds of years ago, right? So it makes it easier to understand. Different people react differently towards Chinese girls dating foreigners. Some people will just be silent even though they feel confused and feel strange because they have some degree of courtesy. And some people will just affront the ladies straight away and roll their eyes in public. The last but not the least. Some people are just toxic and mental. We can't try to analyze or understand how their minds function. We normal people are very different from them. I'm saying it in a very neutral way without any prejudice. After all, mental illness has been seriously overlooked in this society, especially in the past decades. More and more young generation found it much more harder to build a life since the competition is extreme nowadays. Much more pressures and life burdens fall on them, and there's no solution. There is no way out. They are struggling, suffocating in their little world, can't get help from family and friends. They can only react on social medias because no one knows who they really are. So it's more like a way to release themselves, to let out all the negativities inside them. This society becomes more twisted. So don't be surprised more and more people are becoming twisted in the meanwhile. Tons of people don't even realize they have illness inside. It is very intimidating and sad thing. I mean, how can they get proper treatments, right? More interesting part is this type of Chinese men usually feel so proud and excited to see Chinese men dating foreign women. Yeah, I noticed that this type of Chinese men don't really criticize women who date East Asian men. Except Japanese men due to complicated historical reasons, or Chinese who were born overseas, such as American-born Chinese, Canadian-born Chinese, Malaysian-born Chinese, Singaporean Chinese, Indonesian Chinese, and so on. They mainly go crazy when the foreigners are white people, black people, and other skins with colors. They hate the fact most when Chinese women date black people. There are some Chinese content creators who date black people, and literally they are being affronted every day by some Chinese men out of the screen. Honestly, I feel very sympathy for those girls who have been treated in such a rude and disgusting way. On the other hand, I feel so proud of them. As women, they dare to stand out and live a life they chose, regardless. By the way, what is the definition of being easy and cheap? I'm pretty sure you and I definitely have different standards and ideas towards being easy. I wonder, will it still be called easy if both of them are taking advantage of the situation? Will it still be called cheap? If girls who date foreigners are defined easy, then how about girls who only date sugar daddies? They could be easy in the eyes of Chinese men without money, right? Women who date younger men could bear the stigma that they are taking advantage of the innocent young boys. Old men who date much younger girls could be judged that there is no love but only money between them. Comment and let me know your opinions on why these Chinese men are behaving like this. I would like to hear more from you guys, and thanks each of you who has commented and shared your thoughts, your opinions with me in my previous videos. I really appreciate that. That's really wonderful. There will always be different voices in our life. We can't mute all the voices we don't like. However, we can change our attitude and mindset towards it. We can focus on things we enjoy doing, and things can make us happy. Slowly and slowly, we will notice the voices, the noises we don't like are fading because we are too busy living our precious life, right? Thank you for watching, guys.